as that little boy, that 6-year-old boy's body was found shortly after 7 p.m. this evening. I'm going to step off cam for a second. You can't see much because it's really dark, but it's very calm here. It's very quiet. You can really only hear the crickets, but that was not what the scene looked like earlier today, as there was many members of that family here, as well as many first responders trying to find that little boy, like you mentioned, Kristen, shortly around 2 p.m. Our way to the mall, we were up at Brasswood Avenue and Central Entrance in that intersection, and then they quickly made their way back down the hill. Now again, John, things were not looking like this earlier today at the protest that started at the Jackson Clayton McGee Memorial. Things were pretty calm. And as of right now, we don't know the name of that victim. Police are not releasing it in respect to his family, but we do know the 45-year-old was transferred to a Duluth area hospital. We do not know his conditions at the moment, but police say they are not thinking it is life-threatening. Yeah, Ryan, so crews have been here since about 3:30 this morning at the Addis Israel congregation on the corner of 3rd Avenue East and 3rd Street. And as you can see behind me, majority of this building has been destroyed from this fire. Health officials are asking people to take precautions when traveling, like wearing a mask and keeping your hands clean. Most people are opting to stay home. According to the Minnesota Newspaper Association, 7 newspapers across the state have closed just this year. 16 newspapers have either limited their production days or combined with others. One of those is the Duluth News-Tribune, starting next month. Lines like these may be permanent because the paint was absorbed into the soft stone. Meanwhile, over here, you can see the orange still in the lettering. Driving behind a plow truck, if you can't see their mirrors, they can't see you. Standing in solidarity and demanding justice. Hundreds of protesters rallied in downtown Duluth to honor George Floyd's life and demand that action be taken against the officers involved in his death.
Here today is to support every black person in America that has ever felt like they were not safe because there was a police presence.
For some, what happened to Floyd hits close to home.
We didn't personally know George, but we knew we lived in the cities, and we actually lived at the homeless shelter that he had worked at once.
For some protesters, keeping the peace was really important.
I'm hoping it stays peaceful. I can't, we can only speak for ourselves, so I'm hoping it does.
Shouldn't have went to a death, but it did. I don't think we should be rioting for it, but maybe we can all come as one after all this,
Protesters say Saturday was about making their voices heard.
That America starts to realize that we're not going to be silenced, and we are going to start standing up when this happens.
To put an end to racial inequality.
They have come through this, and I will have to
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's announcement Wednesday came as a surprise to some who expected to open the inside of their restaurants to customers. But for Sarah's Table in Duluth, staying outside didn't make a big dent in their plans.
We don't feel comfortable yet having customers in the building for the safety of them and for our employees, so we had already planned on starting with outdoor dining in June.
Sarah's Table has plans to move tables off the patio to maintain social distancing.
A lot of these tables are going to end up in the parking lot so that we can distance the tables at least 6 feet apart.
So places like Sarah's Table have a giant parking lot that they can utilize, but that's not the case for everyone. Here at GB Schneider's, they only have permitting to use a couple of parking spaces for their outdoor dining. Owner Gary Schneider received a city permit to use the 3 parking spaces in front of his restaurant as a dining room.
We thought we were doing this before. We thought we were doing it for people that were afraid to go inside, but now we're doing it because those are the only seats we can have.
Schneider says he has some concerns about how things will go.
It's the weather in Duluth in the month of June, not so hot. So what happens if it starts raining when people are sitting outside? I can't invite them in.
Both restaurants say they still have more planning to do before they're ready to open to diners. What started out as a delay.
It is delayed at this time. It was around 6:03 this morning, and now it's bumped up to 6:58.
Soon turned to cancellations.
We were heading to Columbus, Ohio, but we're not anymore.
And missing out on warm weather and holiday traditions.
Have you ever had southern fried turkey? I mean, it just doesn't compare. So, 73 degrees and fried turkey I'm going to miss for snow and fast food.
The unanticipated weather has caused holiday headaches for travelers.
It's pretty sad. I have twin daughters who are coming from New York and from medical school, and I was really looking forward to seeing them. And
it means heading home or figuring out a new plan.
Now we'll go home, maybe a restaurant, and just do it that way.
Travelers all have high hopes they'll eventually make it to their destinations.
I think it'll all work out.
we'll try. We'll just hope that the wind and snow conditions improve so that we can all get on our flights and see our loved ones.
The plows are here. It's a miracle.
Residents in the hillside neighborhoods are finally getting out of the house after some real cabin fever.
I've been trapped here since Friday. As you can see, I'm in the middle of trying to get out, but it's been a long weekend and week here.
Like 3 or 4 days. And so it's been pretty crazy, but thank goodness I had enough food that was stocked up.
Trapped inside and no school for students at Myers-Wilkins Elementary School.
But I'm kind of glad they also canceled school so kids don't have to trudge through the streets since all the sidewalks are not done or anything like that. And it gets kind of dangerous too because they're so little. It's an elementary school, you can't see them over the corners too.
I was not very happy, I'll be honest with you, just because I have 3 boys and they're very cooped up. And so they've been pretty antsy inside the house for the last couple days.
Even though it took some time getting out, some residents say there's no one to blame.
It's no one's fault, really. It's a lot of snow, and it was a really fast turnaround time on all the snows overnight, so there's really nothing anyone could have done. There could have been a little bit better planning and stuff like that, but it is what it is.
But the kids, they're having a good time.
With the big blocks of ice they're trying to transfer in my house, just have a mop and it'll all be okay.